Welcome, Smyth Performance Beetle Ute fans. We're gonna go through some different tools you can use here. I don't have every tool that you could use to cut the car available to me to put on the bench here, but I'm gonna show you some of the variations I have and what I prefer and why. The first off that I find very useful is an angle grinder with a steel cutoff wheel. Important to make sure that you have a metal cutoff wheel, because there are other cutoff wheels that look just like this, but they're for masonry or other materials. So make sure it's a metal cutoff wheel and have you a couple of extras, because one misstep and you break that wheel and now you got to put another one on or run back to the store. So have a couple of extra wheels with you. This is kind of the standard 4.5 inch. Pretty common tool. Most people have one of these. You can use a cordless, but in the process of cutting the car, I'm a fan of the power and the long lasting of having a corded cutoff wheel. My favorite for doing the roof cut used to be just using a circular saw with a metal cutting blade in it. Works pretty well, but I've since kind of changed my technique. The Harbor Freight one will work for about 2 cars. I bought one, used it, burned it up. It was worth the $40 or $50 that I paid for it. Then I just started putting metal blades in, in my normal circular saw. So metal blades come in 2 versions. You can have the toothed version, and then this kind of style. This one tends to send more chips. It works fine. You've got to keep the speed of the blade up and your movement slow if you're using one of those. Of course, this is the wrong arbor for that particular saw, so this one doesn't go in that particular saw. I prefer these. Doesn't send as many metal chips, but it does increase. These seem to cut a little bit hotter than these. Not a big deal. You're gonna have to prep that cut a little bit anyway when you're done, before you paint or adhere or whatever. But there are different options. Personally, I like these. Either one will work. Here's the Mac Daddy, the Sawzall. You are gonna need some type of Sawzall. Again, you can do a corded, or a cordless. I find with the cordless, it doesn't have as much power, and I go through more blades and more batteries, so I just use my corded Sawzall. And Sawzall is actually a brand name. I get it, so don't jump the hate on me here. Reciprocating saw. This is the core of it. You could do the entire cut with this, cutting the car, but a reciprocating saw, either a jig or this style of reciprocating saw, is not a great idea across the roof. As it's cutting, you'll find you're making little dents across the roof line, and that makes more body work for you later. So as much as I love the Sawzall, and you need a Sawzall to do this, it's not the greatest for the roof cut. While we're on the Sawzall, again, same as with the cutoff wheels, you'll need some extra blades. The big, long, specifically for metal blade, is very useful. I would recommend having a 5-pack of these. You may only use 1 or 2. Depends on your skill level with the Sawzall. If you're pretty good with a Sawzall, you can probably do the entire car with just 1 blade. But I also like to have a couple of these short ones. It's basically the same kind of thing. It doesn't have to be the DeWalt brand. It just happens to be what I could get easily. This is a 14 teeth per inch, specifically for metal. I recommend against the construction style. They're a little bit thicker. A little more aggressive teeth, less teeth per inch. They will work, but they tend to grab the metal more, and you'll find that you're having to hold stuff still so the blade can work its cutting action. Lennox makes these fire rescue ones. They cut through anything, but again, they're a little bit more aggressive. And when you have the bigger teeth, it tends to grab the steel and you dent stuff more, and it kind of makes a messier cut. So I prefer the smaller teeth, 14 teeth per inch, 16, 18 would be fine. That's the blades I prefer, both a couple of long ones and a couple of short ones. So I mentioned that I used to prefer to use the circular saw, but my new big fan is I had to get a big angle grinder with a cutoff wheel for trimming the aluminum. It's about the only way I could cut that 1/8 aluminum besides the plasma cutter, and not everybody has a plasma cutter. So I bought this big Metabo. There's other brands too. I'm a fan of this thing, and this is what I now use for my roof cuts. I love this thing, plenty of power. It is a little bit unwieldy. It's kind of heavy. It doesn't give you a guide like the circular saw does. So it takes a little more technique going across the roof to make that nice clean cut. But if you can hold it steady, you can make a really nice clean cut with this that requires very little filing and cleaning up of the cut. I have mentioned before in other videos, I'm a big fan of these shears. These make an incredibly smooth, clean cut. They're not expensive. You can get one on Eastwood for, I think it's 90 bucks. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Harbor Freight. This one happens to be a Porter Cable, which is not in business anymore, so I'm having trouble getting replacement jaws for it. But there's two places that I really like using this saw. It's up to you whether it's worth it to go, or this shears. It's not necessarily worth it to go buy one if you're building one ute. But the more I use this thing, the more things I find to use it for. So I like the little, I call this a body saw. There are different names for it depending on what industry you come from. And this one happens to be a pneumatic. They make battery ones, they make corded ones. There's all different kinds. But basically this little saw blade works really well for a couple of places where you need to kind of get in and just cut a little bit. It will not cut where it's reinforced. If you have two pieces of steel together, this guy is not going to do very well cutting through it. This is also super useful for trimming the fiberglass of the body panels. So in the next video, when we go over prepping the body panels, you'll see me using this one a lot. So if you have one, this is a great tool. It might be worth getting one, not necessarily a pneumatic, but you can get an electric that looks much like this with a cord coming off it. Again, a couple of extra blades, and always remember, when you start bogging down and you're having trouble cut something, check your blade. A lot of times you can cause yourself super frustration just because you're trying to make an old blade work. Not so much for the body kits, but in prepping the car, I use one of these oscillating saws. There's a million different ones out. This happens to be a cordless DeWalt. This one's pretty good. I'm using the small teeth multi-cut blade on it. This one's a little bit wider. Normally I use the straight one. It's super useful for cutting out the glass. When we talk about prepping the car, you'll see where I use this. And it also cuts the plastic bumpers really well. You can plunge cut that corner and then just zip through that, excuse me, zip through that plastic fender work really easy with these. You could use a pneumatic cutoff wheel. This could be useful basically in the same places that you use this. These are a higher RPM, so be careful. Make sure you're wearing proper safety gear if you're using one of these. For prepping afterwards, or cleaning the cuts afterwards, this guy is great. You use a couple different roll-lock discs so you can get different grits. I use the heck out of this through the build, but also in this stage of cleaning up the cuts after I cut everything. So something along those lines is gonna be needed. Of course, safety gear, right? So you're gonna need some eye protection. Metal chips are gonna go everywhere. If you're using a cutoff wheel, face mask is a good idea. These cheapo Chinese ones work out pretty well. Good visibility, it breathes pretty well, it doesn't fog up. But when those cutoff wheels come apart, they come off, especially the higher RPM pneumatic ones. That piece comes out. I don't have to preach to you guys about safety, I don't think. Some hearing protection. You're gonna be making a lot of noise. I like to be able to hear. My hearing is already kind of shot, so I protect it as much as I can. And then of course, when you're cutting metal, you need some good gloves, something to really protect your hands. You're gonna end up getting a nick on your hand somewhere through this process. Minimize it by wearing some good gloves. Okay, that covers our equipment that we're gonna go through. So a Sawzall, some kind of cutoff wheel or circular saw, and you can get through this. You don't have to go buy all these different tools. I didn't mention these shears. You can get these. This is a Harbor Freight brand. I do not find these useful in this application. This lower jaw is too big to really fit under where I need a shears for. So while this tool has its place, it doesn't really work that well on the car, cutting the car. In your safety gear, make sure that your hearing suppression or your hearing protection is compatible with your eye protection. For example, the stems on your safety glasses sometimes will prevent your earmuffs from sitting on correctly, and you're not really getting the sound suppression that you need. So check them before you get too scooped in. I find myself wearing the in-ear earplugs more and more just because the stems of my glasses hold off that cup. Food for thought.